everyone. Welcome to Bella TV. My name is Jennifer, and I am joined by actress Emma Malouff. You may recognize her from the huge hit TV show Impeachment, American Crime Story. Emma, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So we're going to get right into it. Impeachment. I mean, I watched it, loved it. Essentially, the presidential scandal that this depicts took place before you were even born. So I can only imagine the preparation that you had to do getting into the role, and then also, I mean, working alongside Sarah Paulson, who's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
You play her daughter in the show, Allison Tripp, and she obviously portrays Linda Tripp. So just tell me about that entire experience for you.
Yeah, it was the experience of a lifetime. It was such an incredible project, such an incredible story to be a part of. I mean, Ryan Murphy, he really sheds a light on the women of this story and, really tells the truths of what happened to them and how they were ridiculed by the media and just, degraded and made fun of and bullied. And I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to be a part of this project because, it's so important for women. And working with Sarah, she's just brilliant. The humanity that she brings to Linda Tripp is just absolutely incredible. You really see in her performance the truth behind it of why she did what she did. And for me, as an actor, to be able to witness Sarah in her costume and wardrobe and all put together, performing with the physicality that she brought and the truth that she brought, her attention to detail and everything. It was masterclass, really. At the end of the day, it was just such a masterclass, and it was a privilege to work with such fantastic crew and cast.
Yeah, and she, I mean, her physical transformation to become Linda Tripp was insane. I mean, I had to Google it at first to make sure that was really her.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, the whole cast was really great. The show was great. And I'm sure as you're newer into acting, you just started acting a few years ago, right? So I mean, this is kind of like the breakout role that anyone would wish for, I would assume.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. There were definitely a few tears of joy that were cried when I booked the role. It was such a crazy audition process. I auditioned for the project all the way back in February of last year. And then COVID, the first, big shutdown and lockdown happened, and the stay-at-home orders. So I came back home to Austin, and I had completely sort of forgotten about the project until all of a sudden October rolls around, and I got a call from my agents, and I had to send in a couple more audition tapes and did a few Zoom auditions with casting. And it was crazy. And all of a sudden here this project is again that I had done all the way back in February. And sure enough, it all came together, and it was just so exciting to have the opportunity to be a part of this.
That's amazing. You did a fantastic job. And obviously there's a lot more on the horizon for you. I am personally excited about your next project, which is 1883. I am a huge Yellowstone fan, like diehard Yellowstone fan. So I can't wait to see the prequel. This one as well, though. I mean, you're working alongside Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Again, a huge star-studded cast. Since the show is not out yet, can you tell us a little bit about, the premise and what we can expect to see?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, back to Yellowstone really fast. I love Yellowstone so much. I'm right there with you. When I first heard about 1883, I went back and my grandma and I binged all 3 seasons in 2 days and just sat and watched it all. So yes, very excited. But yeah, so 1883 is the prequel to Yellowstone, and it follows James and Margaret Dutton, the Dutton family, as well as Sam Elliott's character Shay, and a couple amazing other characters that Taylor has written for this story. And it follows their journey west from Texas to Montana, and that journey of making it in that time. I mean, it was just amazing. The sets were fantastic, and it really allowed me this amazing opportunity to step into this life of what it would have been like to live in 1883 and experience that. And so I play Mary Abel Dutton, and she is the niece of Faith Hill and Tim McGraw's character, Margaret and James. And so, that was just they are such wonderful people. I cannot speak highly enough of them, as well as the whole cast and crew. Really, it was such a family. When we all came together, it really was like we were just a family creating this beautiful piece of story, and it was so exciting, and I couldn't wait to get up every morning and go to set early and late, and for the night shoots and morning shoots. It was the best. It was such a fun experience for me, and I'm very excited for everyone to watch it. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if it's half as good as Yellowstone, and I feel like Yellowstone, even in just the past year or so, has really exploded. So many more people know about it now and are watching it. So I'm sure all of the loyal viewers will be tuning into 1883.
Yes.
And when does that premiere?
December 19th on Paramount Plus.
Amazing. So in addition to acting, I'd love to hear you have a very multifaceted life. You started out as a dancer. I know now you're into TV and film kind of production. So just tell us about some of the other things that you're also working on.
Yeah, at the moment, I have been learning about editing and editing softwares. I've been using DaVinci Resolve. And a lot of that kind of happened over, when the initial lockdowns happened for COVID, when I came home, and I took it upon myself to learn all of that. And I had an amazing friend who helped me, because those things are kind of confusing, and you can only watch so many YouTube videos before you need someone to actually be there and help you. But so my ultimate dream is to have a production company and produce projects and stories that mean something to someone, because at the end of the day, we all have individual stories that make us unique, and that's the beauty of filmmaking, is sharing those things with everybody, so that we can all come together and enjoy this piece of humanity in front of us. And whether that's an exciting magical world like Marvel, or something raw and real like Greta Gerwig's Little Women, or Lady Bird, something like that, so my dream is to produce projects like that. And so that's kind of what I'm working towards, and writing as well, and directing, just kind of all of it, all encompassing.
That's amazing.
All encompassing. Yeah.
Well, and I have to touch on, here at Bella, we very much believe in the beauty of giving back. And I did read that you have a very big philanthropic side as well, specifically to do with raising awareness around human trafficking. I know you work with a couple different organizations, so why don't you just, kind of touch on that? What kind of drew you to that sphere and the work that you're doing now?
Yeah. Human trafficking, I feel, is something that's not spoken about enough. And I think people really do sometimes, because it's an uncomfortable subject. And so, I think that it's sometimes avoided in certain situations when it needs to be brought to awareness. What really drew me to it, when I started raising money and hosting tea parties to raise money for organizations like A21, Exodus Cry, I support on my Instagram, is the age, the girls that are the age range for girls and boys and individuals that are trafficked is 14 to 18, which was at the age 14 when I started raising money and learning about, you know, the sex trafficking industry. And so, you know, I think that it's important for people to know, and it's an important conversation to be had of how can we as a society come together to put a stop to this, because it's horrific and it's terrible. And so back to the tea parties, I hosted these tea parties for young girls in my school and their moms, to come together to educate them on the pitfalls of human trafficking and how to identify it in individuals and girls and boys around their schools. You know, how to pick up on the signs and where to report it and how to go about reporting it, and you know, how to yourself be aware how not to fall into the pitfalls, because it's very prominent in our society, especially in the age of online. It's very prominent. So, you know, I hope to continue to raise awareness for it and bring light to amazing organizations that are working so hard to rescue and then, you know, go through the process of rehabilitation and counseling to then step out into the world again. So, yeah.
Well, it's beautiful that you're using your platform to not only talk about it and keep the conversation open, but also, you know, working with these organizations. That's really great. You're doing obviously amazing work in both your personal and professional life. You were fantastic in Impeachment, and I can't wait to see 1883, as I'm sure so many people are. So let our viewers know where they can follow you, whether it's social media, website, and just stay up to date with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Instagram, just at Emma Malouff. I also have a website, emmamaloof.com, IMDb page, Emma Malouff. That's about it. You know, I've tried to get into TikTok, but I have a really hard time with it. So I have one. It's just Emma Malouff, but I have like 2 videos on there. So
we have an ongoing discussion here at Bella about TikTok. We, thank God, have an amazing social media manager now that does our TikTok for us. But we were lost in the beginning too, so I understand.
And you know, I enjoy going on there and watching other people's content, and I'm always inspired. But I have a hard time, you know, throughout my day being like, oh, this is a good idea to film this and that, and oh, I never.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and my hat goes off to those people that are doing it for themselves on that app. Really.
Yeah. Well, Emma, thank you. You were fabulous, so sweet. And hopefully we will have you back here very soon, and we can catch up on all things 1883 and all of the other projects you're working on.
I would love that. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.